Well, hello guys. How's it going? Today's going to be a little bit different. I decided to go ahead and just do a live on my own rather than interviewing someone. There's definitely a few things that I wanted to share, just with regards to some of the things that I've learned over my career. And definitely want to open it up to any sort of questions or comments or anything that anyone wants to discuss. So feel free to definitely comment at any time. I'm actually going to make sure I get my Facebook set up here. So bear with me just 1 second. I want to make sure that this is up and going because for some reason there is a delay, or I guess that's just the way it is. There's a delay between the comments showing up, being able to see that. So feel free to put comments on Facebook if you guys have any sort of questions. Essentially, what I wanted to do today is share some of the things I, I want to say tips and tricks, but it's not really tricks. It's just different things that I've learned over my career to build a business that has gotten to be seven figures in terms of just over $1 million of production on a yearly basis, which has happened over the last few years. So before I jump into that content, I'm going to be sharing 5 different things that I think anyone who really wants to achieve a certain level of success has to, or these are big parts of why they succeed. And so I'm going to go over those 5 tricks or 5 tips, 5 strategies, 5 things that I've really learned over my career to be able to attain the type of success that I currently enjoy. And I feel like it's just key, and it's not just real estate. Of course, most of you know I'm in real estate. I'm a real estate broker. And I'll just give you a quick intro. Again, I think most of you know I'm a real estate broker. I have about 14 agents that work with Trillion Real Estate. I have a property management business in which we manage about, I believe we're around 260 properties and growing. We tend to grow by roughly 40, 50 properties a year and rent out around 100 a year the last few years. But then also, I focus a little bit more on the real estate side and my production over the years. My first year in real estate, I believe I closed 6 deals my first year. I was still finishing college at Cal State San Marcos. And so I was still full-time school. I had just finished working at a credit union, or I guess you could say I just quit there. I graduated from Cal State San Marcos, and at that time, I jumped into real estate full time. I had my first home, I had a baby at home, and so obviously had a number of responsibilities. So that first year, I had 6 transactions. So it's nothing amazing. I know there's many other agents out there that start out just killing it. Um, my first year I hit 6. Second year, I believe it was slightly more than that, maybe 8 or 9 transactions. Um, Keep in mind, I've been doing this for over 10 years. And then around 10 years or so, I started hitting from 6 to 8 to 30 to 40 to 50 to just almost every year, just slowly growing. And that's where I focus on. At the same time, I was also building a property management business. And then just recently, as of about a year or 2 ago, I started taking on some agents. A big part of what I wanted to do is to help mentor and see other agents grow. And I felt like, having been in the industry for 10 plus years, I felt like I've learned a lot and a lot of things that I could share with other agents in order to help them grow and attain levels of greatness, or not even just greatness, but just levels, to be able to help their family, and both financially and just a certain level of happiness at the same time, because there's always that element of balance between work life and then also, obviously, work. And it's very tricky to balance the two successfully. A lot of realtors tend to get very heavy into the work and sometimes forget about family and the things that are really more important than financial, or I guess just financial gain or just working all the time. Of course, um, there's other things much more important, including family. So that's just a little bit of a background about me. This year, I'm actually already about 50 transactions and should hit 100, on track for actually over 100 transactions. For an individual agent, that's a lot. I think in the top 100 agents in the area, I think last month I was somewhere around the number 5 spot, which I tend to be right around the 5 spot. But the only agents, or actually teams in front of me, have multiple agents. And so those numbers reflect teams of agents, whereas my numbers reflect mostly just my production, as a solo agent. So I should this year will be my best year. So considering COVID and everything, I'm at about 50 transactions and should hit about over 100 is what we're tracking for at the moment. And so hitting 100 transactions for me is going to be huge. Last year I hit 84. Um, so hitting 100 is just that elusive number of 100, triple digit, which will be really cool. And so I just want to share a little bit of some of the things that I've learned over these past 10 years, in order to attain, I guess you could say, that level of success. Um, and hopefully, I really want this to be useful information. So feel free, please. I'd love to dig in deep into anything I discuss, or just any random questions you have. Feel free to comment in Facebook or on Instagram. I think we're trying to stream it to Instagram as well. If you have any comments or questions, I'd love to help. Molly, thanks for joining in. I appreciate that. Gloria, Balby, thanks guys. You guys rock. And I know part of my team's here. If my team's on this, I want to see you guys in the comments. I want to see who's here. But thanks for joining me. I feel like it's a little harder this week than talking to other agents because, to be honest, I prefer hearing from others. I don't like talking so much about myself, my success, the things that I'm doing, because I feel like sometimes it can come across boastful. So hopefully everything and anything I say today doesn't come across as boastful, but it's just things I've learned that I feel like it could really help other agents grow and really attain the levels of success that they want to attain. Bottom line, it comes down to the individual. And if they're really willing to work and do the things necessary in order to take your business to the next level. So without further ado, let's go ahead and just talk a little bit about the 5 things that I'm going to talk about. And so the first one, and I see I'm already at 8 minutes. What the heck? I guess I like to talk. The first item that I think is really important, and these are in no particular order. First one is it's important to master your morning. And mastering your morning is huge. I think a lot of realtors and just people in general, especially when they're running their own business, don't realize how important it is to have structure within your business. Within real estate, you need to treat it as a business. And when I say treat it as a business, you will see me here in the office on a consistent basis, usually from somewhere around 8 to 9 until 5 o'clock or so. And sometimes later, obviously it just depends. But in the morning, I make it a point to be very consistent, about making sure that I follow a certain routine to really get my day off started properly. And the way to get your day started off properly is, one, you need to wake up at a specific time. And so waking up at a specific time, for me, and I think for everyone, it's going to be a bit different, right? Generally, I'm going to wake up around 5 to 6 o'clock in the morning. It doesn't mean I'm starting to work at 5 to 6, which maybe I am. So I get up, and within my morning routine, one of the things that's very important to me is exercise. So I get up, I usually go on a run or do some sort of exercise. Um, and that takes about, anywhere between 30 minutes to an hour of my morning. But I make sure that I do it consistently and um, am pretty dang consistent about it. And what that does is, so once I go out on my run, one of the other things that I feel like is very important is make real good use of that time. If you're running, obviously I throw in my AirPods and I'm listening to podcasts. I'm listening to real estate rock stars. This morning I listened to Relentless, which is an amazing book by Tim Grover. I might share a little bit more about that a bit later. Um, and so, or yeah, so basically different books I listen to, um, or I'm listening to different podcasts. Gary Vee, I love, or Real Estate Rock Stars are a couple of my favorite podcasts to listen to. And even today, and I have been forever, listening to these podcasts allow me to learn what other realtors are doing and just people in general to be able to find more success in their lives. And sorry, I guess they just included me on Instagram. What's up, guys? Thanks for joining us. We're trying to get this out on Instagram and on Facebook today. It looks like they brought in the iPad. So if I'm not looking at you, that doesn't mean I don't. It's just on the side of the computer here. But so I'm basically sharing 5 of the tips or things that I find that I really are really key to having a successful business, and it's in everything, especially real estate. So master your morning. Wake up at a specific time. Have a specific routine. Plan your day. Um, so I'd spend about 45 minutes to an hour doing exercise. What does that do? You wake up, you feel, well, let's back up a little bit. I don't love to run, okay? But I do it because it pushes myself. And after my run, I feel great, right? When we are physically active and we feel physically good, it allows us to just be, I feel like, more successful in life. It starts our day on the right note. And so by listening to podcasts, going on a run, I don't eat breakfast, and then just planning out your day and then heading into the office, I do that consistently. So first thing you need to do, if you're not already consistently waking up at a specific time and you're not starting your day with a win, and that win could be exercise, it could be reading a book, it could be whatever you want it to be, start it with a win. Mentally and your mindset is key in success within any industry, and especially within real estate. Um, and so make sure, hey, what's up? Hi, Dylan, thanks for joining us. Um, oh, oh, there you go. Sorry. But yeah, so make sure you master your morning. Key. I don't want to go in too long, but you guys get the point. It is extremely important to really just master the morning. Um, like I was saying, I don't like running, but I do it because I feel good. It keeps me in shape. I'm able to start the day with a win. If running 5 miles, if I feel good. And then from there, it allows me to really have a good day on a good note, mentally, physically. I'm just feeling good, and I'm able to find a lot more success that way in everything I do. So number one, master your morning. Tip number one. Number two, self-reflection. It's mind-boggling to me that most of society, and especially realtors, we don't look at our business on a periodic basis and figure out what we can do better. How can we better serve our clients? How can we better serve a buyer? How can we better serve a seller? And each and every piece of that process, from the time that you start speaking or engaging with a prospect, we need to be perfecting our ability to properly communicate, properly serve them, properly provide value. We need to be serving them at the highest possible level. And that means we need to educate ourselves and truly do everything we can to always be learning so we could better serve them. By better serving them and providing more and more value, what that's going to do over the long term is going to create fans. It's going to create people that trust you. That's going to create clients for life. It's going to create clients that are going to refer you business. So Initially, when you're getting into real estate or any other business, you have to get going, right? You don't have a client base. But if you do it the right way and you're always learning, that base is going to continue to grow over time, right? So I've been doing it over 10 years now. And because I feel like I have been doing it the right way, I truly care about my clients and I'm truly trying to serve them to the very best of my ability, communicating well, giving them the best possible opportunity to get their offers accepted, sell their homes at the highest possible price. All those things come into play in with whether they're going to send you business in the future and whether they want to refer you business. Do they see you as a true business, someone that really takes their business serious? And I think what's huge is that periodically, it could be daily, it could be weekly, but every once in a while, you need to take a step back, look at your business, and what can you do to improve that business? 10 years in, and now producing what would be considered at a very high level within real estate, I still do this. I listen to these podcasts. I evaluate my business on a very regular basis. I take a step back. If something happens, someone's not happy, I look at that situation, I analyze it. What can I do so that doesn't happen again? What can I do to better communicate with my clients? What can I do so that my business can continue to grow and I don't put myself in a situation like that again, or my clients in that situation? Because the smoother that transaction process is, obviously the more likely they are going to want to refer you and send you more business in the future. So make sure, self-reflection. We need to always be when I say self-reflection, not only is it important for us to reflect upon ourselves and how we can become better people and provide more value to our friends, family, and all those around us, but we also need to be looking at our business, as I was saying. Look at your business. What are the areas of your business that you can improve? And this is, the way I see it, until you get out of real estate, you should be looking at ways to improve your business. If you want to go from a business that's making, initially, I was in the red. I was losing money, right? I was using my credit cards just to stay in real estate. It's not easy initially. It took me at least a few years to start getting back into the positive, paying off my student debt, things of that nature. But if you're consistent and just keep doing it and doing it the right way, like I was saying at the beginning, your business goes from 6, 8 transactions, 30, 40, 50, 60. It just keeps growing. Why is that? Because you're doing business the right way. Okay. And that is, I would say, a huge key to success within anything you do. You need to always be looking at ways to improve. Look at the nitty gritty and figure out how can you improve each and every part of the system or process. Um, so that is all about improving, and you should be improving throughout your life. And not only business, I know I focus more on business, but on yourself. If you're becoming a better person, you relate with people, you build those relationships of trust, and you're really looking out for the best for your clients and the people that are around you, and truly mean it. People feel it, they see it, they know it. You can't fake it. You know, when I have a phone call with someone and I share about some of my ideas about how they can create wealth through investing, I love doing it. Not because I benefit in any way. The only way I truly benefit is by knowing if they buy a house in 10 years from now, they're going to be setting up their families to be in a much better situation wealth wise. They're going to have better cash flow. They're going to set themselves up for retirement. And those are the things that are rewarding to me. And I feel like those are the little things that we need to be focused on. If we're becoming better people, and just always striving to be better people, imagine how amazing this world would be, um, and I feel like there's not enough of that. I don't think people stop and really think, in what ways can I, as an individual, as a spouse, as a father, as a friend, how can I be a better person? And so I don't think we don't stop and really analyze and think about those things. So I think that's a crucial part to truly just not only becoming a better person, but better business person, and creating a better business. Because if you want to improve yourself, that's innately you're going to want to improve your business always. And so if you're always improving your business, everything else just falls into place. Building $1 million business to where it's producing over $1 million every year, yeah, it took me a number of years, but it's because I was consistent and was always looking at ways to improve. It might not have been the, what I say is the sexiest way to build a business to where it goes from 0 to 1 million in a couple years. But over a good 7, 8, 9, 10 years, I was able to build that business to where now I don't pay for any leads, right? Um, Most of it's just online presence, referrals, past clients. Most of it's incoming. What's so great about that is it allows me to also still balance my life in a way where I could still take trips and spend more time with family and things of that nature. So sorry, guys, I'm jumping all around here. Um, Tammy, thanks for jumping on. Betsy, you're amazing. Bridget, thanks for being on. Um, Feel free, any questions, I'll remind you guys a few times, but feel free to shoot any questions. I hate just talking. I didn't even want to really do this by myself just because I'd rather hear it from other people and not feel like I think I know it all, because I don't. I'm far from it. I'm still learning a lot. Um, so anyway, shoot, I've only got through 2. So self-reflection and always improving. Key. That's extremely important to building a successful business and just becoming a great person. You need to always be focused on how you can be a better person and build a better business. So number 3 is build a business that will continue to give long term. So that kind of flows into that. And what does that mean? How can you build a business to where the business just flows to you? And um, oh, hey guys, sorry, on Instagram, I'm kind of ignoring you guys a little bit. Hey Autumn, hello. But yeah, so when you build a business that continues to give, I've gotten to the point where I don't pay for Zillow leads or things of that nature. It's all incoming leads, right? I've I've set up all my platforms to where I have a lot of reviews online. I have a good online presence with social media, Facebook, Instagram, and we just try to do everything right when it comes to serving our buyers or serving our sellers. Everything we do, like I was saying before, is so focused to over communicating, not being reactive, trying to be proactive with everything. When we open an escrow, our clients are set up on a chat with myself, with my transaction coordinator, with my executive assistant. And the reason for that is we can all stay on the same page and communicate with each other. And so our clients know exactly where we're at. When it's a new listing, we include not only my executive assistant, transaction coordinator, myself, we also include my marketing manager. Why do we do that? We want to be proactive and make sure our clients know very well where they're at in the process. And another important thing is really providing value and structure and systems. And if anyone's interested, feel free to just comment, and I'd be happy to share anything and everything we use. We have, when we get a new client or we have someone curious about listing their home, we have a flyer essentially for what we're all about, who they'll be talking to, who's part of the team, what do they do, what sets us apart from anyone else, what makes our service better or just different from all the other realtors. And we have things set up for buyers too. So if you're a buyer, who are you going to be working with? Who's going to be helping? Transaction coordinator. You've got myself. You've got potentially a buyer's agent that's going to be helping out. You've got the lender. And it's spelled out very clearly. And what are the benefits of working with us? And so I guess what I'm saying is just make sure there's a lot of systems and structure in your business. And what that's going to do, it's going to allow you to be more productive and more efficient with your time, to where if someone calls, if they were to call me right now, within a minute, I could send them an email to tell them who we are, send them some marketing and material, what sets us apart and what makes us so great, and why they should work with us. I could do that within a minute. what happens is if I take a call and it takes me a couple hours to throw something together, well, maybe they've moved on to someone else or who knows. But if you're able to knock that out within a minute, you're able to continue on with everything else you're doing. Um, so make sure that you have systems and processes in place to be as effective and efficient as you possibly can. What can you work on today that will continue to work for you in the future? Um, Eric, what's up, man? And so always be thinking 3 years down the line, 5 years down the line, 10 years down the line. What can you do today to make your business better in the future? And so if you have that focus, you might have to grind and work a little harder at the beginning of your career. But once you get in 5 years, 7 years, 10 years, it just gets easier and easier and easier. And just because I'm saying it's easier doesn't mean you shouldn't work as hard. It just means now the leads start coming to you. It's inbound calls. It's a lot easier dealing with high volume of business when they're calling you and they want to work with you than it does when you're hustling every day making, who knows, 10, 20, 30 phone calls trying to get people to work with me. I can't even imagine doing that now. If it was day one and I'm getting into real estate and I had to do that, I'd do it. But being where I am in my career, I'm able to do more numbers, more production because I don't have to do it. In most cases, people are coming to me to work with me because they know I treat this as a business. And unfortunately, I won't say most, but a lot of realtors don't treat it like a business. They treat it as if they're just looking for a paycheck. And I think it's extremely important to have processes and systems in place to be very effective and efficient with the business because we have to serve our clients' needs. And the way to do that is building it as a business. Um, and so, anyway, so that's going along with that point. Geez, I'm already at 25 minutes. So, build a business that will continue to give. How can you do that? Like I was saying, marketing material, reviews, make sure you have a very good online presence. So, and lots of videos. You want people to feel like they can get to know you without even meeting you. Put out good content. Try to put things together that are of value, that will be of interest. Um, and what will happen is year after year, if you again continue to grow that base of clients and people that follow you or just have a relationship with you, of course, your business will only get easier and you'll start getting that income. You provide value to people, the business comes. You don't have to worry about anything else. So currently, I just continue to try to provide as much value. I continue to learn, and what's going to happen is my business will continue to grow, and that's without doing additional marketing to get leads that I have to call. So value, bring value, always improve. The business will follow. It will be hard the first few years. You're not going to go from 1 to 100 in a year or two. A few exceptions, but I can tell you it wasn't like that for me, and I don't think it's going to be like that for most people. You have to be patient. As long as you put in the work, everything else will fall into place. Next thing, okay, this is a quote from one of my favorite books, which is Relentless. I'm listening to it for like the third or fourth time currently, and it's by Tim Grover. He says, "Be comfortable with the uncomfortable. You need to learn, grow, and you need to just do it. Trust your instincts." Another plague within the real estate industry, and this is probably most industries, is people get ideas but don't implement. They don't trust their instincts. They don't go ahead and just try new things. Doing a video may be uncomfortable. Doing a live video is uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable for me, but I do it, and I don't hesitate to do it. I just do it. And that is important, especially within real estate, to always do things that are going to make you uncomfortable. If you tell yourself you just are horrible at video or horrible at whatever, you will be horrible. But you need to stop telling yourself that, and you just need to do it. Continue to do things to improve your business and provide value to your clients, and everything else will just continue to follow through. Tim Grover, with the book Relentless, he trained some of the most elite athletes like Michael Jordan, Dwayne Wade, Kobe Bryant. And he talks about what makes them so unstoppable relentless. It's mindset. It's their ability to lead and their ability to work harder than anyone else. It's their ability to see discomfort right in front of them, and they just go for it. They're warriors. They don't, it's all instinct. He talks about how when they go on the basketball court, they're just on a whole nother level than most athletes. And it all starts right up here. And it really holds true within any line of business and really within anything. Read the book Relentless. It's a great book. There's a lot of amazing tips that you can get off of Relentless. So check it out. Tim Grover. He talks a lot about Michael Jordan and Kobe Bryant and just what made them so amazing. Okay, so that's number 4. We got through 4. We're already at about 30 minutes. Dominic, what did he ask? Do you recommend taking out a loan when starting a business? Did you do it? I definitely incurred a lot of debt in my business. Not a ton, but definitely a good amount of debt. That's what it took to get started. I don't think real estate's easy. I think most businesses are difficult to get going. You have to spend money to make money in a lot of cases until you get to the point where it's really you've created something that really does produce money. So I would say, yeah, I think most successful business persons or people would definitely say take out a loan. It's something you need to do. If that's what you got to do, of course, you just do it and just follow through, work hard, put all your time and energy into it. And yeah, so I think it's definitely something you got to do. I feel like unless you have some crazy, some wealthy parents that are supporting you and things of that nature, jumping into real estate is not easy. You've got to spend money to make money. And so I would definitely say, yeah, you've got to spend money in order to truly start a new business and make money at the same time. And let's see, just want to check if there's any other questions. Gloria, thanks for being on. Everyone else, thanks for being on, and also on Instagram. Looks like there's a handful of you guys. Appreciate it. Number 5, you need to continue to adjust and build systems, which I think I already talked a little bit about that, and a team to support the growth. So within real estate, I started as just myself for a number of years. As I started getting some, more business than I could really handle, at a certain point, I would say within real estate, around 15, 25 transactions, you need to have someone assisting you. You need an assistant. You definitely need a transaction coordinator. That was my first hire, was an assistant that helped with transaction coordination, meaning a lot of the paperwork, and then just assisting with a lot of the other random things, whether it be marketing or anything else. But over time, that grows and changes. And that's why it's so important to evaluate your business on a periodic, maybe every month, every week, every few months. Figure out what you need to do in order to continue to grow your business. And so one of those things that's very important is to grow, you need to hire, you need to have more people assisting you. So over time, I got my first assistant. I got a marketing assistant. I got a property manager. I got 2 property managers. I have an assistant to the property managers. I have 2 assistants to the property managers. I have a virtual assistant to the property management business. I have an executive assistant. So you continue to grow to allow your business, obviously, to grow. By you not hiring an assistant because you say that you want to do everything yourself, you're holding yourself back. Okay? That means you're having to do all of the tasks, which at one point or another, you won't be able to grow anymore. So you have to be willing to make changes, evaluate your business, and hire the right people to continue to grow. I hate when I see agents, I shouldn't say it like this. It bothers me a little bit when I hear agents saying, I'm just a control freak. I want to do everything. Guess what? Then you're going to be a slave to your business, okay? And you're going to limit your growth. You might be doing pretty darn good. You might be able to hit 30, 40, 50, maybe even 50 transactions. But guess what? You're not going to go much higher than that because you'd go crazy doing more than 50 transactions. Hire the right people that will allow you to continue to grow. And guess what? The income is definitely going to outpace your hires. And so it's very important to evaluate your business and continue to hire the right people. Um, and throughout that whole process, again, I think all of these 5 things that I'm sharing, they all kind of go hand in hand, along with um, the systems adjusting, improving. You just work hard. You keep pounding the pavement. There's not much more to it. Why is it that the most successful athletes are the ones that are on the court or on the field after the games? That's what happens. Real estate, same thing, or whatever. They look in the eye of being uncomfortable and just go for it. Um, and that's why I like running. I don't like running, but I do it because it makes me uncomfortable and I feel good after I run. So there's the reward afterwards. If you're willing to take on the discomfort, the uncomfortable, and just go at it, you've got to twist it in your mind to where it's like anything uncomfortable, you want to do it even more. Because the more you do things that make you uncomfortable, that means the more you're going to progress and the more you're going to learn. And the more you learn, and that means the more value you'll be able to provide to all those around you and all of your clients. So shoot, where am I? Dang, I'm already at 36 minutes. That flew by. Um, so anyway, I guess that's pretty much it. I just wanted to share those 5 things today. I'd love to get into more of the nitty gritty. I really want to provide like really specific details of anything. So if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me. And I can include this on a future live, or even we can just chat one-on-one, and I'd be more than happy to share anything that I've learned through the process. But those are the things that I feel like are 5 of the most important things that have allowed me to create a $1 million business in terms of, and when I say $1 million business, it means within real estate, it's not easy to bring in $1 million on a regular basis every year, and that's where I've gotten to the last few years, is where I have been able to bring in $1 million in income. And each and every year, it's continued to go upward, and so that is so important. We obviously want our business just to continue to go upward, and that's naturally going to happen if we're doing the right things and really working hard to always improve. Um, First year, I probably made, who knows, yeah, $30,000. Totally guess, I have no idea. But then 50,000. Next year, maybe 100,000, and it continued to go up from there to the point where I've been able to consistently, bring in more than $1 million a year. And so it takes time, it takes consistency. But I'll finish off with the 5 items. Master your morning. You've got to master your morning. So important. Um, that's number 1. Number 2, self-reflection. And when I say self-reflection, we're talking business and yourself. Be a better person. Create a better business. Always, till you die. We should never, ever feel like we know it all. We don't. No one knows it all. Okay. You've always got to be learning. Number 3, build a business that will continue to give for the long term. And that really means creating ways to where clients are reaching out to you. And that's really done just by providing value. That's really done by just being a good person, doing your business the right way, setting up things professionally, everything you do, over communicate, don't be reactive. People want to work with proactive agents. They don't want to have to call every time they want an answer to anything. They want you to be proactive. And that means when you open escrow, you should be telling them what to expect. What's the timelines? Send them an email. We have a very detailed email. This is what's going to happen. Same thing when we start working with them. This is who you're working with. This is what we're going to do. Set expectations. Okay. Number 4, be comfortable with the uncomfortable. That's my favorite quote from Relentless, Tim Grover. Um, and I can, that's just truth. That it is. Another great book is Atomic Habits. Make sure you guys read that one as well. And it's all about just learning and stacking good habits one upon another. And then, I mean, one other quick thing I'll just throw out there is how I was saying I run in the mornings and stuff. And then with running, I just started doing it. And then I did my first marathon, which I failed miserably. I finished, but my time wasn't that good. Like, and I had gotten injured, I think a couple months prior playing basketball. And but I wanted to challenge myself. I knew it was going to be difficult. My ankle was still black and blue when I went on that run. I think 13 miles in, I was killing it. I was doing good, but dude, I hit a wall around 15, 16 miles to where I couldn't run. So I would try to jog as much as I could, but I finished, but my time wasn't good. After, I was in crazy pain. I was like, no way I'm ever going to do another marathon. But of course, there's that, you know, being the person I am, I was after recovering a little bit, I was like, you know what, I've got to do better. So what did I do? I changed my regiment in terms of the type of conditioning. I ran more often. I did greater distances. And I was determined that I wanted to qualify for Boston. So even though my first one, I didn't succeed, I had to work hard. I ran on a consistent basis to the point where I did another marathon. And guess what? Second try, I was able to qualify for Boston, which requires a time of about 3 hours, which is about 7 minutes a mile for 26 miles. And so I qualified for this year. So unfortunately, Boston was canceled this year. Um, but I'm saying this because even the process of becoming a Boston marathoner, it took a lot of hard work. It took a lot of discomfort. And I'm not a great runner. But if you put in the work, you can succeed at anything and everything you do. But you got to put in the work and you got to be consistent. Um, and that's just a natural way for anyone to truly be successful with anything they do. Okay, I digress. Sorry, guys. So that was number 4. And number 5, just adjust and build systems and a team to support you. It's important to hire an assistant transaction coordinator. It's important to continue to grow. That's truly the way that you're going to be able to continue to scale, make more money, serve more people, and do good for a greater number of people. And so you've always got to be looking at ways to improve your business and just grow. And the final things here: work hard, be positive, guys. We're extremely blessed within, just living here in the Temecula Valley or wherever you guys live. We're extremely blessed to have the many things that we have. But those are my 5 tips that I wanted to share of what I think are some of the most important things to building $1 million business. I hope you guys got something out of it. If you guys have any questions or anything you'd like me to share with you guys, I'm happy to do so. I really hope and want the best for anyone and everyone. And last thing I'm going to leave you guys with, I went way over time, so sorry, is wealth building. You guys, especially if you're a realtor, you work in real estate, you've got to be investing in real estate. You've got to build for your future. And it's sad that not very many realtors invest in real estate, and we're in real estate. If you guys have the desire, have questions, reach out to me. I'd love to share what I'm doing in order to build wealth that will continue to bless myself and my family and those around me for years to come. It means buying properties in areas where the cash on cash return are great. And remembering that it's not only a cash on cash return, but it's also appreciation. It's also tenants paying down your mortgage. And 5 years, 10 years down the line, you're going to be so thankful that you bought these properties, because these properties are basically making money in 3 different ways, if not 4. And You need your money working for you. Real estate is one of the best ways to do that. They say most millionaires are made through real estate. So, realtors or not realtors, feel free to reach out to me if you're looking at ways to create wealth. I'm passionate about it just because I know how much it can help you really set your life up in a way to where you really reap the benefits down the in the future, to where you can actually retire. You're not 80 years old showing houses. Uh, happens too often. So anyway, guys, thanks for tuning in. Really appreciate everyone that was on. Um, and we'll be in contact and look forward to next week on Tuesday live, 3 o'clock. Feel free to join me. If you have any questions, comment, DM me, or text me. Thanks again, guys. Have a good one. Bye.